Anyone can fly a spaceship, but it takes a real pilot to fly it properly. Minutes to learn, but a lifetime to master. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're enrolling in flight school. You see, we're finally able to buy our first ship. The grind paid off. And this is what we've decided to buy, the Avenger Titan. A fantastic starter ship, which should help us earn credits even quicker. With a size 4 weapon hardpoint on the nose, 2 size 3 weapons under the wings, and 4 size 3 missiles, we can use this to dogfight. You see, I was never destined to be a delivery driver. I knew that I was meant for bigger and better things, but we had to start somewhere. So let's fire up this bad boy and take it for a joyride. Now we've just spent everything we have on this ship, so we have no credits left. That means that over the course of the next hour, we are not only going to learn how to dogfight, we're going to see just how far we can push this ship. We're going to start with single targets and work our way through as many scenarios as possible.
Hostile spotted. Give him what you got.
Now, one thing we have to consider about our ship is the power unit that we're using and how much available power we have to put into shields, coolers, weapons, or even radar and navigation. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so this first ship looks like a Drake cutter from the image on the right hand side. It's moving too quick to use missiles, so I'm going to stick to guns. Now you can see there are two different types of fire that I have coming out. There's the yellow and the red. The red is the laser repeaters and the yellow is the ballistics. Now ballistics will penetrate shields better, so we need to get through the shields first, and then we can try and attack the components of the ship, see if we can actually disable or destroy that ship. We've also got blue, which is more for disabling. It's a distortion weapon. We don't have that on this ship, but they're the three things to consider. All right, nice and easy.
Cleared that wave. I've signaled the next.
Now we know we're only dealing with single ships in this first scenario, so it's going to be easy one-on-one dogfights. We'll keep our shields up. We're just going to wait for that next wave. Alright, we'll target it. We can see it's quite far out. Now we could switch to missiles here, but I don't really want to waste them. I've only got 4. So we're going to wait for it to get a little bit closer. Yeah, should be a nice easy fight again. But just to show you how the missile lock works, you first have to switch to missiles. You have to see this round target. Once you hear missile lock, then you can fire. This little ship looks like a Pisces. Again, should be quite easy to take out, not much firepower on it. You can see the shields on the right hand side on my HUD. Now there's going to be a front, a back, a left and a right shield. And we can actually assign power to an individual shield if we want to have more power at the back, for example, if we've got someone behind us. And that's getting a little bit technical, but ultimately if we're going to be taking out a ship, we have to take the shield down first. And if we don't hit a target for a set amount of time, the shields will start to regenerate. So we don't want to allow them a chance to regenerate their shields. Now, for a small ship like this, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be very easy to kill it. When you're dealing with bigger ships, these are things we're going to have to consider.
All targets neutralized. Catch your breath. The next one is on its way.
Okay, thinking there should be 3 waves here. This should be the last one. Obviously being careful we don't crash into any asteroids either. Okay, so this time it looks like we're up against a MISC Prospector. We are going to fire a missile at it this time. This isn't really a combat ship. This is actually a mining ship. It does have a couple of size 1 weapons on the front of it, but they're not really going to do any damage to us. So we'll fire a missile off. We might actually take it out with this. If not, we'll fire a second. There we go. And then we'll just switch to guns because we don't want to waste our missiles. We can get one more off. It's fine. You can see though, it's still got the shields up at the moment. We're not actually getting through. We just used our missiles up, but we'll switch over to guns now. We're out of missiles. You can see the shields are now down, so we're actually doing damage. Now, depending on what we're going to hit, what part of the ship we're going to hit, depends on the damage that we do here. We're just doing generalized damage at the moment, hoping that we hit components, maybe doing some damage to the hull, damage to the engines. If we actually want to do specific damage, we're going to have to zoom in. You can see there we did a bit of damage there. If we're looking at the right hand side, we can see the back of the ship is red. That means that it has taken a lot of sustainable damage. Now if we zoom in, we can actually start to focus on components. Now you can see we're actually aiming for the engines and they're glowing red. So I can really start to focus on either disabling ships, destroying ships, taking out their weapons, their turrets, their engines, for example. But we're just going to take this out. It's got a little bit more HP than the other ships, but again, can't really do us any damage. And as long as I stay behind it, both of its weapons are at the front. So if I'm behind it, it can't shoot me. Now the only problem at the moment is I'm using a lot of my ballistics, which I'll need to recharge. Once they're empty, they're empty. And my laser weapons, they're taking too long to recharge. They're not very efficient. So I do need to consider ammunition and how I'm going to maintain that for future fights.
Take a deep breath, Rook. You pulled it off. Another lesson learned. Hit the showers. Celebrate. And I'll see you when you're ready for the next one.
Okay, GG. Scenario 1 complete. We're back up to 25,000 credits and we can now take part in Scenario 2. Now, something to consider is whilst we can grind these missions, we're not actually going to get any reputation for them. So the only thing we can do by repeating them is to get more credits.
Welcome, Rook. We'll get started in a moment.
Okay, so this time it's going to be multiple targets we're going to have to consider at the same time. There should also be several waves, just like before.
Hostiles inbound. Light them up.
Alright, we've got no missiles, so we're going to have to use ballistics, and we're running kind of low on those. So we're just going to be respectful with how much we use. We're not just going to randomly spray and pray. He says, whilst missing absolutely every shot. So you should recognise this ship that we're up against. Well, we was. That was the Mustang. That's actually what we started in. Now, technically, we can't be credited with that kill because an asteroid took it out. But they are quite easy to kill. And you can see the difference now between that ship and what we've got now, which is why we're glad that we upgraded. Okay, so we're trying to lock onto one target whilst we're trying to dodge the other target. Our shields are getting hit, and now you can see our shields are down, so we have to be a little bit careful here. We can get into trouble if we're not careful. Starting to black out just a little bit there from the G-forces that we're pulling.
Shit!
Alright, the hull of this is really red. It should be almost done. Nice.
Bastards are gonna pay for that.
Alright, one more left. Now this looks like an Anvil Arrow. I may be mistaken because that's actually a really good ship. And even though it's a small ship, it does kind of look like it. You kind of get used to what the ships are the more you play this game. We could scan it, but we just don't really want to use our time scanning ships. That's why it's unknown at the moment. Doesn't really matter what it is, we're going to kill it. Yeah, this is an Arrow. Very, very nimble, very good ship actually. I'd consider that a step up from what we're in at the moment. Very fast, very small, very hard to hit. And it's got decent firepower as well. So this ship actually has 2 size 3 weapons on the nose, but it actually has a turret as well. So it shouldn't be manned at the moment. We do have to consider a turret, and it's got about, I think it's got 6 missiles. Size 2s or size 3s, but it's a very, very similar ship to what we've got now, but just with an added turret as well. And
Need assistance over here!
we've got an additional size 4 Gatling gun, and it doesn't have that. So we do technically have more firepower. Really hard to maneuver with this ship. We're actually starting to run low on our ballistics as well, so they're going to run out soon. Hope we can get this ship killed before that happens.
Congrats on completing another part of your course. You impressed the other pilots out there today. I'll see you when you're ready to continue your training.
Nice, another mission complete. And this one paid even more than the last, so now we're up to 55,000 credits. Now the sensible thing will be to go back to a space station, to rearm, to get more missiles, to get more ballistics, but we're not sensible. We're just going to go straight in for scenario 3. And this one is talking about us fighting multiple targets, so we're going to have to prioritize what is the important target.
Welcome to the training site. Get settled, and I'll let everyone know to start.
So for example, if we're up against a mining ship and a fighter ship, the mining ship's probably going to have more health, but the fighter ship's more of a threat. So we take the fighter out first.
Looks like you got inbound. Weapons free.
I wish the weapons were free, Gilly. I know this is going to cost me a fortune when I rearm. Okay, I can't tell exactly what this is, but it looks like a Hornet. Could be the F7A. F7C, probably the F7C. Yep, firing missiles at us. Alright, so we're going to need to deploy countermeasures. You can hear that ticking, that means that there's still a missile chasing us. It actually hit us there, but it didn't do a lot of damage just because it's a small missile. The amount of heat that you're giving out determines how likely it is to get hit. You can deploy noise and chaff and things like this as well, so that's good, but yeah, countermeasures is something else we're going to have to work towards. But yeah, this is a Hornet. I'm going to assume it's the F7C, the Mark 1. Which means it's a pretty similar ship to what we've got in terms of missiles and weapons. I think we've actually got more firepower than this, but it's a good ship. It's a good small fighter. Nice.
Clear up, but I got more coming your way.
Contact.
Alright, so, yep, that looks like a mining ship. Looks like another prospector. Is that 2 prospectors? And I can't see, but potentially another Hornet. We're going to take this one out first. This will be the fighter. Yes, another Hornet. So we'll take this one out first because this one's going to do the most damage. Nice, that was an easy kill. And yep, another prospector. So this is a mining ship, more health, but we know it's only got the front guns on it. And we know that they're smaller guns, so yeah, we're not too worried about this. And now we can just take our time and relax. Ah, there's two of them. They're still not going to do that much damage to us. You don't want to get in the way of them, but at the same time, we're not worried by them. These also don't have missiles, so a tactic we could use is to move out of gun range and attack them from a distance. Only we don't have any missiles to do that now, but something to consider. Alright, ballistics are out now, so we are down to our repeaters, which, as you can see, we're waiting for them to recharge. So this is a good lesson right now in the limitations of our ship. And it's not necessarily a limitation of the ship, it's more of a limitation of the stock components that come with the ship. We have to see about upgrading them after this fight. So the shields are down and we're doing damage, but not a lot. What we need to make sure is we keep tagging it to stop those shields recharging right now. Yeah, I have a feeling this one's going to take a while.
A few moments later.
Alright, that took far too long. I think we've reached the limitations of our current components on this ship. We'll just finish this to do the mission, but then we're going to have to go and upgrade our weapons. Alright, I think I've just disabled this one. It's not actually moving anymore. Unfortunately, I don't have any charge in my weapons. Let's just get a bit more charge. See if we can finish this off. Nice. Alright, that was painful.
That's gonna put a big check mark in the done column. You showed a lot of solid skills out there today, rookie. Can't wait to see how you do with the next lesson.
Alright, so we're up to 105,000 credits. Now's the perfect opportunity for us to pop back over to Hurston, where we purchased this ship, going into Lawville, so we can go to Hurston Dynamics. So, coming out of the elevator into Lawville Station, you'll know New Deal is on the right-hand side. This time we're going to head to the left. Before that, we just quickly go and store our ship. This is important because in order for us to be able to change the loadout of our ship, it has to be stored. Alright, now we're just going to follow signs for the transit. A bit of a walk and a train, but we're going to do that. And we're going to be heading for the Central Business District, CBD. So just going through customs. Two options here. We can either go right to the metro, which is the shopping centre. We're going to go straight ahead to the Central Business District. Right, looks like there's a train. Nice. Remember, everything in this universe is physicalized, meaning that to get from A to B, we actually have to go there. There's no loading screens. So we actually have to get on a train that's going to take us from the spaceport to the business district. There are 4 main planets in the Stanton system. Microtech, which is where we started. Where we are now, which is Hurston. There's also Crusader and Arc Corp. Which are, they're 4 corporations that purchased planets. So when people left Earth, the law says that they're 4 companies that purchase planets and they own these planets. And so this is Hurston Dynamics. You can see here, all looks very opulent, very affluent, very beautiful, until you get down into the center and you actually see the poverty. It's very, very well done, very well designed, beautiful game. But right now we're going to go into the Central Business District and then we're going to run up towards Hurston Dynamics. Hurston Dynamics are one of the best weapon specialists in the verse, and they are the ones who are going to provide us with the attrition laser repeaters. They pack a punch. They are what we're going to go and buy right now. All right, a little bit of a walk here. I'm just going to show you this so you can actually see the journey that we need to take. These incredible statues here of the kind of founding fathers of the company, the organization. Also, the armor sets here you're going to see very different than on Microtech. So if you are interested in these armor sets, you'd have to come and farm them from bunkers around this area, missions around this area. And the missions that you do in Hurston are different to the missions that you do in Microtech. You have different organizations here, different reputation structures. All right, so here we go. There's 2 buildings here. On the left side, we have trade, where we can do commerce. On the right side is Hurston Dynamics. And because we're running with all of our armor on, we're actually getting exhausted. We should have taken it off to run a bit faster, but it's okay. We're here now. All right, here we go. There it is in front of us, the attrition laser repeater. Beautiful, beautiful weapon. That one's slightly bigger than the one we're going to be buying. But let's go ahead now and grab these. Now we should be able to buy 2 of these. Yes, so the attrition 3, 51,000. We've got just enough to buy 2. Ideally, we want 3. We want to get the attrition 4 as well, but we can't afford that yet. So we'll get these for now. And then that will be both of the wings. Sadly, now we're down to 1,000 credits. So we need to save up now for the attrition 4 to put that onto the nose. All right, so let's attach these to the ship. Just go into our mobi-glass, go over to vehicles, head to the ship, which is why it needs to be stored at this location. And now we can head over to vehicle weapons. So you'll be able to see here, we've got the left wing, the right wing, and the nose. So there's actually a gimbal attached to the left and right wing. We're going to swap that over. And now you can see we've got those 2 done. We're also just going to change the nose. We're going to take off the ballistics and instead we're going to put on the laser repeater that was on one of the wings. We've only got a size 3 on the nose now, not a size 4. But the idea now is that you're going to be able to see that we've changed things around. Now I've actually pulled up the Gatling gun. So this was a Reverend Gatling. I've pulled this up from local storage. I'm going to put it in the back of the ship so you can see it. So this is what was on the nose. So whilst we've used the loadout manager to change the weapons, we can actually pull them off here like this and put them on and swap them around. So here we go. There's our attritions, and then that is what was on the side is now on the front, and that's going to hopefully give us continued firepower. Now we could have just restocked the ballistics, and I do like ballistics, and that is a good weapon for us. But now by moving over to laser, it means that we're just going to have constant firepower. We do want to get the attrition on the front as well, so we're going to go full laser. Now you can choose your loadout. You might want to go ballistics, laser, distortion, totally up to you. Now in the landing strip here, this is where if I'm in a landing bay, I would do the restock. This would actually recharge or restock my ballistics. We don't have any at the moment, which is why it's so cheap. Which is good, because I don't have the money anyway.
Quantum fuel at 100%.
Alright, with 200 credits left, we are absolutely broke. Time to tackle scenario 4. This one's actually going to pay us 70k, so you can see these are progressively getting better. And this one is going to be focusing on stealth.
Okay, you're in the right place. Stand by while I deploy your targets. Got hostiles heading to your position. Prepare to engage.
Now, because we're up against stealth, we're going to be a little bit stealthy ourselves. We're not going to put our shields on just yet. We're going to head towards those ships. Now, we could take out some points in our thrusters, our weapons. We could turn off our quantum drive. So we are giving out a little bit too much heat. But now we're going to put our shields on. This is going to give us more heat signature, which means they can get a missile lock on us. It looks like we're up against a competition ship, though. This is a Razor. Missile. Okay, that actually did hit. So, yeah, the missiles are hitting us. But those Razors, they've only got, I think, size 2 guns. So they're not actually that much of a problem. Now they do have missiles on them, but they're only small missiles, so not really too worried about them. They are fast. We're going to take these out first. And because we're up against a stealth ship, we've got to try and find it. Alright, so we're also up against this, which I think is a mole. And you can see we've done some damage to one of the engines. We'll take one of the sides off of it. This is tanky though.
There we go. Another lesson in the books. Hopefully you feel yourself improving, because I'm definitely seeing it on my side. I recommend a bit of downtime, and then we can get back at it. Rest up, and I'll see you soon.
Alright, nice. You can also see if you look in the top left there, if you look at the power being generated to those laser repeaters, the attritions, we've got 75 charges on each, which is just much more than the 25 that we're getting on the other size 3 that we've got. Nice 70,000 credits there, and we've now unlocked the next scenario. So let's jump straight into it then. We're now into scenario 5. This one's going to pay us 102,000, which is nice. But it says we're going to be up against missiles. All right, time to practice those stealth tactics. But before we do that, let's just pop outside of our ship. You see, we took a little bit of damage in that last fight, and so I really want to just repair some of the ship. To do that, we're going to need the multi-tool with the Cambrio, the SRT attachment, rather than the tractor beam. So we're going to put that on. We've got a canister already attached, but you will need a canister of RMC. You'll need that as well. So we're just going to go out the back here, and we're going to find a part of the ship that looks like it's damaged. We can see it looked like the wing. Yeah, 45%. No, that one actually says it's okay. Yeah, this one, oh, shields are active at the moment, but it doesn't say that there's any problem with the integrity of this. Let's have a little look. We'll look around the other side. Oh, there we go. So if I start doing it, it says part integrity, so we can see it's a 46%. So I do want to just fix this up a little bit. I'm not going to go too mad, but if I just get this upgraded, that way we can get back into the fight. So a few repairs before we crack on, and then we'll jump into that next mission.
Hostile spotted. Give him what you got.
Contact.
Alright, this looks like a MISC Freelancer. There are different variations of this. This is probably going to be the combat one, loaded up with missiles, rather than the transporter. Okay. A bit of a black spin at the moment, pulling some G's. That wasn't intentional. Luckily we didn't blow up. We didn't actually get much damage there, but yeah, try not to do that again. But yeah, this will be tanky. Now, if it is the combat version, and I'm going to assume it is, it's going to have, I don't actually know how many, but I think it's like 20 or 30 missiles on it. It's a lot. So we want to stay close. We don't want to get too far away from it, because it will just start firing missiles. So we're going to stay close, because it's only got a couple of size 3 guns. I say a couple, I think it's got 4. I think it's got 2 sets of 2 size 3 guns and about 20 missiles. Alright, something just blew up there. Wasn't the ship, but it was a part of it at least.
All clear. Stand by for the next wave. It's gonna be even tougher.
Now I'm just going to make the assumption that we've done stealth, we're doing missiles. This is probably going to be a Sabre Firebird. I'm going to stay quite close to these asteroids. Alright, this actually looks like a Vanguard. If it is, yeah, this is, yeah, okay, alright. Let's see countermeasures. Nope. Alright, we got hit by that missile. I think this is a Vanguard, possibly a Warden, which means it's a fighter. It's a big fighter. Alright, I don't know. I think something just blew up there. It seems like something just hit an asteroid, which is good for us. But yeah, this thing's going to have a lot of guns. I think it's got like a size 5 on the nose. And 4 size 2s, if I remember correctly. I think, it's been a while, but this packs a punch. And it's got a lot of size 4 missiles as well. I think it's got about 10. Yeah, we want to stay quite close to this. We want to get this out. We need to get behind it. It does have a turret as well. I'm going to assume it's potentially not manned. I don't even know what the other ship is that we're fighting against at the moment, but I'm just focusing on this one. This one can take me out very quickly and very easily. Alright, we've taken some structural damage to our hull. Our shields are up, but that doesn't mean anything. I can also see that whoever's fighting us, they're shooting ballistics. It's going to go straight through our shield, so I'm going to be a little bit respectful of whoever that is. The attrition's really putting the work in for us, though. They're doing great right now. Trying to maneuver away from whatever that is behind me. It keeps getting a lock, and I'm a bit worried that it's gonna shoot through my shield and take me out.
Shields.
Just like that. My ship's dead. My engines have just turned off, so the ballistics obviously gone straight through. I'm a sitting duck. I don't even think I can get out of the ship. I'll try. I think this is going to blow up before. Okay, yeah. GG. Alright, we're going to need another game plan because that's not going to work. But we've only got 68,000 credits. So we're going to roll back and do one of the previous scenarios. We're going to do scenario 4 again. Because we know that if we do that, we're going to get 70,000 credits, and that's going to be enough to upgrade the laser repeater, put the attrition on the nose.
Contact, radio. What am I paying you for? Protect me!
Alright, we've got enough credits. Let's head back over to Lawville and pick up that attrition for the nose. As soon as we've got this, let's replay scenario 4 and see how much more efficient we are at clearing it.
Got hostiles heading to your position. Prepare to engage.
Yeah, this is much, much quicker. We're getting through these a lot easier now. We're taking less damage. Having the 2 size 3 and the size 4 attrition makes a huge difference.
All right then, that wraps up this lesson. Fantastic work. Seems like you're developing a real aptitude for combat. Hopefully the next lesson will help you grow even more.
Alright, another 90k in the bank, and now I think it's time to try scenario 5 again.
Welcome, Rook. We'll get started in a moment.
Alright, so we know what we're up against. We need to get in close. We need to do a lot of damage very quickly.
Looks like you got inbound. Weapons free.
Contact.
Okay, so we're just going to take out this solo ship first before the next wave, which has got the 3 that we have to deal with. That's going to be the tough one. But this one quite easy. We're just going to try and take minimal damage here. It should be quite easy to take him out. We'll just get that shield out first. Just making sure we get behind him. Again, as long as we're close enough, he won't fire his missiles, and that's the thing we're concerned about. This thing has a ton of missiles on board. So as long as we're close, the only thing that's going to affect us is the turret. Not really going to do enough damage to bother us. Alright, his shields are down, and we are punching a hole through, doing a decent bit of damage there. This size 4 attrition really slaps. It's a nice weapon for us to have, especially on a starter ship. It's making quick work of this. Nice. Much, much quicker this time.
Wave clear. Here comes the next.
Again, we're going to stay close to these structures. Maybe the ships will crash into it, but also if they do fire missiles, hopefully they'll hit the rocks or the mining base, and not us.
Shields under fire.
We're hit!
That was not us this time, so that was good. Alright, shields down. Doing good damage now. I'm going to try and take this out. Alright, another space rock claims a victim. Remembering what happened last time, we want to be careful of those ballistics. We want to avoid them as much as possible.
Asshole.
It almost feels like he's baiting me into a position so his wingman can get those ballistic shots off on me. Oh, that's not going to be a problem anymore. He's dead. Alright, as suspected, this looks like a Firebird. Now the Firebird only has a couple of size 3 weapons on the nose. but it has 12 size 3 missiles. And the thing about this ship is it can lock 6 missiles on at a time. It is a stealth ship that is hard to see and can blow you out the sky before you even know there's a radar lock. Very, very dangerous ship. Alright, one more MISC freelancer to deal with. This will be the combat variant again. Again, full of missiles, which is why we need to stay close. As long as we stay close enough to these ships, they can't get those missiles off, we should be safe. If we do get attacked, the best thing to do is to lower your signature rating, rely on your countermeasures, and hopefully they won't lock on. But yeah, staying close is definitely I think offensive is the best form of defense here, because to be able to be within gun range, even though they've got the ballistics they can fire at us, I'm just not getting bombarded by missiles. The Firebird, both of them, they would absolutely destroy me. They would take out most ships. So I don't want to be in missile range of any of those.
Shields under fire.
I'm pretty confident now though. This is the last ship. I mean, it's only got its turret. And there we go.
That's it. Lesson complete. Good work today. Hopefully, I'll see you soon when you're ready to keep training.
Alright, GG. That puts us up to a total of 193,000. Time to go shopping. So we're going to head to New Babbage. The reason we're going to go here is we want to pop into Omega Pro and we want to buy some more components. Let's upgrade our power plant. Let's upgrade our coolers. We'll upgrade our shields. We're going to go into the next battle. Let's prepare ourselves to the best of our ability. And the great thing about New Babbage that I love is you don't need to land at the space station and get a train. You can actually land at the domes here, and you can take the entrance in from the surface down to the shopping centre. We'll be able to pop in and just pick up those components. We're just going to quickly do that, put them into the ship by the loadout, and then we'll crack on with the next scenario in Giddy's flight school. So back on Microtech, thinking about those mercenary contracts that we did. Thinking about that courier mission that we did. Thinking about how far we've come and how much money we've got now. And how easier it is to earn money now. Doing these missions, it's a lot quicker to do them than it was to run bunkers. We get paid a lot more as well. Potentially considering doing some yoga. But I don't want to get distracted. So we're going to head straight through. Now the shop we're looking for is called Omega Pro. So there's a circle in the middle of this dome here, and there's shops all around the outside. So you can either go through the middle, or you can just run around the outside. We're looking for Omega Pro.
Well, if you say so.
Alright, here it is. Performance ship parts.
Hey there. How's it going?
So if at this stage you're wondering how to learn about all of the different ships in the game, then you're going to want to use this website. It is called Erkul.games. That's ERKUL.games. Now here you can see I've got the Avenger Titan loaded up and it's broken down. So first of all, we've got the weapons. Now I can see when it starts, there's the Reverend, which is the ballistic Gatling on the front, and it has the two Omni-Sky 9s, which are on the wings. So I can see here that this is not very efficient. I can also see that it loads 6 ammo in 8.5 seconds. It takes 1.5 power and it's 2.4 seconds of continuous fire. So if I was to swap this out for what we did, which is the attrition free, you can see the difference from an 8 to a 25 load. Also takes the power from 1.5 down to 0.8, so using less power, getting more continuous fire, which is why we swapped both of these out. We then took out the Gatling and we did the attrition 4 on the front there, giving us a much better rate of fire. The next thing that we wanted to look at was shields, power plants, coolers, all of the things that we wanted to be able to change here. Once you've gone through and looked at these, An understanding of fact that there is military, there's industrial, there's competition, and there's civilian. And then there are different grades. There is A, B, C, and D. So having an A grade, like a military A grade or a stealth A grade, is going to be the best. That's what you're going to be looking for. You're not going to be able to buy all of these. Some of them you're going to have to find in contested zones, in bunkers, on missions, from salvaging. There's places that you can go to acquire this loot, but you're not always going to be able to go and just buy it from the shop. So yeah, understanding that. Once you've got all of these parts, you can simply put the non-stock items in your cart. Once you do that, if we go across to the cart, it will tell you where you can buy all of these things from. So I can look at the shops and it will tell me where to go. And that is how I knew to come across to this place to buy it. And I can see all of the information here around the ship. So if you really want to start to understand how to min-max the ship, whether you want to play with a tanky loadout, whether you want to play with something that packs a punch, whether you want to play kind of stealthy, whether you want to go for a missile loadout, a distortion loadout with an EMP, whether you want to go for ballistics over laser repeaters, whatever your game style, you can really min-max and customize every single ship in the game to a great level of detail, and this really will help you to do that. Alright, so with that being said, let's go shopping. Now remember, in order for us to be able to apply these new components to our ship, we're going to have to land it and store it. So for that reason, we are just going to fly across the lake. We can follow the train line over towards the space station. We'll request a hangar. Once we get inside the hangar, we'll put the ship down. We'll just go into the loadout manager, put the parts on, and then head back to carry on with the next mission. You can also see after we've spent everything, we're down to 47,000 credits again. The good news, however, is that we don't need to spend anything else. Of course, we could upgrade the quantum drive, but we don't need to do that. The quantum drive on this ship is sufficient for what we want to do, and the gains that we're going to get from upgrading it aren't really necessary, not for the dogfighting that we're currently doing.
Welcome, Rook. We'll get started in a moment.
Okay, let's have another go on scenario 5, see how we handle it this time. I'm sure we can be more efficient. We're going to take the Firebird out this time before we take out the other fighter.
Contact, radio.
But with that said, we're going to do exactly what we did before. We're just going to see if it's better with these shields and upgraded coolers. Yep, that was definitely much better. Now you'll notice that the ship initially said we had 25 rounds within our attritions. You can see we've got 75. The reason for that is because we've applied more power to the weapons. And upgrading our power plant means we now have additional power, so not sacrificing one component for another. Okay, we know this bird is fragile, so we're going to take it out first so it's not smashing us with its ballistics. Got to try not to be nose to nose with this thing. It does pack a punch, so if we can get to the side of it or even to the back, it's going to be better for us. Now in an ideal scenario, we would actually be here with distortion weapons. We wouldn't destroy this ship, we'd disable it, and then we would harvest or salvage the components. And that is something we can come back and do later. But for now, we're just going to focus on getting it destroyed, getting the mission complete, and seeing if we can push through scenario 6.
Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
Nice, that wasn't too long this time. Alright, last ship. Nice and easy. We're pretty confident that unless anything goes drastically wrong, we're going to finish this now with minimal damage to our ship. So, scenario 5. Confident that even though we've completed it before, we're completing it a lot more efficiently the second time round because of the upgrades and obviously the understanding of which ships to focus on first.
Nicely done, rookie. I wish more of my students flew like that. Take a well-deserved rest and let me know when you're ready for the next lesson.
Alright, 150,000 credits. As you can see, we're accumulating credits a lot faster now. And if we can do this mission, it's going to be even faster still. Because the next one, which is going to be the scenario 6, pays 150,000. So we're going to double our credits.
Good. You're here. I'll notify the other pilots and we can begin.
So we know that part of this scenario is dealing with a multi-crewed ship that has a multifaceted shield.
Hostiles inbound. Light them up.
What that basically means is that each of the 4 sides of the ship, the shields are going to act independently. Whereas on the smaller ships, all 4 sides were connected.
Got something for you.
Nicely dodged there with countermeasures.
Shields under fire.
Keep them back!
Okay, I haven't even looked at all of the ships we've dealt with yet. I'm not even looking at what the bigger ship is. I'm going to take out this Gladius first, the fighter. Probably fighting something, I assume, like a Retaliator or maybe even like a Constellation Taurus. Maybe even Andromeda, hopefully not. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to pack a punch. So we'll deal with that in a minute. Try and take out these smaller ships first.
Holy shit, that was one of our ships.
Under fire.
Alright, that one did hit, so a lot of damage now to the core. Yep, confirmed. Just got the visual of it there. It is a Constellation, so known as a Connie. I don't know what it is. It could be a Taurus, which is more of a freight. I'm going to assume it's the Andromeda, which is a lot more HP and better weapons on it, more missiles.
They're all over me!
We'll have a look in a minute. And also it does have 2 turrets on it, top and bottom. If it's the Andromeda, it's got 2 turrets. If it's the Taurus, it's only got 1, because the bottom turret of a Taurus is a tractor beam. We'll deal with that later though. For now, let's just focus on this little bugger, get him killed, and then we'll focus on that main ship. We can kill it. Size is our advantage. So the problem with the Connie is it's very, very slow to turn around. The turrets, the ship itself, we can use our size as an advantage here. If he can't see us, he can't shoot us. And if he can't shoot us, he can't kill us. That being said, if he does shoot us like he is now, he's going to absolutely destroy us. So we cannot sit in his crosshairs. The really scary thing about the Constellation is that it has 4 size 5 weapons, and they really do pack a punch. Feeling pretty good about this though. And just get this ship out of the way. I mean, I know we're taking a lot of damage, but we're still in this fight.
Would some... Friendly
Nice.
down. Repeat,
That's huge.
Friendly down.
Alright, 1 to go.
Could use a hand.
I need to stay away from the nose of this ship. So you can see what we're talking about with the shields now. The damage that I'm doing, all I'm doing is taking down that back shield. Now, if I stop hitting the back of this, or if I start hitting the side of this, then that back shield is going to recover, and it's going to recover quickly. So I have to keep the pressure on the back of this ship, and I have to make sure I'm hitting the back of the ship, not the front, not the sides, not anything else.
Friendly target.
Okay, I've punched through, so now I'm actually starting to do damage. It's going to take a lot. This thing has a lot of health.
Oh, shit. I probably needed that.
So right now it's actually the turrets that are hitting me, not the front of the ship. I need to be very careful. This is because it is a multi-crew ship, so it has gunners in the turrets, and so even if I am behind or to the side of this ship, it can still get me. Unfortunately, because I'm not keeping the pressure on now, you can see that back shield is starting to heal up. I need to keep hitting it. There you go, it's back down again.
Shield down.
Alright, that's not good. I need to be careful. I've actually got a major torque imbalance at the moment, which means it's hard for you to understand this, but as I'm putting on power to the ship, it's pulling to one side, so I can't even fly in a straight line anymore. I need to get my shields up. His shield as well has just fully healed. He's going to get his missiles out as well now.
Got something for
Yeah.
you.
I'm going to have to get some countermeasures out. Fine.
Contact.
Alright. I need to start again.
Shields under fire.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is the one place I do not want to be, is toe-to-toe or going face-to-face with this ship.
Shield down.
Son of a bitch.
Finding it very, very difficult to be able to control this ship now. Alright, his shield is down again. I just need to keep that pressure on the back of this ship.
Shields offline.
Nope, sadly that's it. He's taken out my power plant. My ship is dead. I've got no power. Now if I can get out of this ship, I could board his ship if I can get on. If he stops, I can board his ship, kill the pilot and self-destruct the ship, and I could still win this mission. But I kind of feel like that's cheesing it a little bit, and I really want to do this properly. So to carry on, I'm actually going to go back to the rental desk in Port Tresla because we're just about to respawn there anyway. Alright, let's have another rental. This time we're going to rent the Cutlass Black. So the Cutlass Black is a medium ship. It is a really, really decent ship. Nice size cargo. You can even get vehicles into the back of it. It's got 2 ballistics as well as 2 laser repeaters, so 4 weapons in total. We're going to take that and have another shot and see if we can finish this a little bit more efficiency. Now the first thing you're going to see is it's a lot bigger than all of the other ships that we've been a part of. And also it's got these 2 huge engines on the sides, which is good and bad, because if someone was to shoot one of those engines out, you just end up in a death spiral. So this ship packs a punch. It's very good multi-purpose ship. Its downfall really is its engines. If they're targeted and taken out, this ship's pretty much worthless. As you can see, a lot more space in the back of this ship. Much better if you want to do sort of cargo hauling and get paid a lot more because you can store a lot more. As I said, you can get vehicles in the back of this as well. There's a lot more to consider in terms of maintenance of a ship of this size. It's actually got its own maintenance control panel. You can see this here as part of the engineering terminal. So there's a lot of things. You can also have, if you've got more crew, they can be repairing the ship whilst you're in the middle of a fight, or organising power for you. You've got people that can sit in the turrets for you, but we're a solo. This is a solo adventure, so I'm going to be doing all of this myself. Alright, let's get out of here, get back into that scenario, see if we can complete part 6.
You are clear to launch.
One thing that you will notice with this ship is that unlike the smaller ships, you will have to wait for the doors to open before you can get out of the hangar.
Welcome to the training site. Get settled, and I'll let everyone know to start.
Okay, you feeling confident? Let's do it this time.
Looks like you got inbound. Weapons free.
The first thing you're going to notice about a larger ship like this is the firepower. The first time you pull that trigger, it's something.
Congratulations. Target is destroyed.
Yeah.
Shield system reset.
Now the shields will recharge quicker in this ship, but I still need to be careful. My shields are down. I took a massive beating there. I am a bigger ship, so I'm an easier target than before. Okay, now I need to consider, do I back out, turn into missiles? I don't want him to fire at me, but I do need to get those shields up. So I am actually going to move around these rocks here, see if I can just get a little bit of respite, get my shields back up. He's on me at the moment though, but yeah, I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place. I'm ready for this. Alright, we've got a decent amount of missiles on this ship, so let's use a few of those just to get your shields down, see if we can do some damage before we go in with the guns.
That's gonna put a big check mark in the done column. You showed a lot of solid skills out there today, rookie. Can't wait to see how you do with the next lesson.
Okay. The missile got through. GG. Sorry, I thought that was going to be a little bit more of a fight, but I'm happy nevertheless. 250,000 credits. This ship has already paid for itself. With that being said, let's jump in to scenario 7. Now this is going to be even harder. If that was a Constellation Taurus, then this is going to be something even bigger, and it says here it's a corvette with escorts. So yeah, this is probably going to be something like a Hammerhead. It's going to be a big ship, and it's going to be multi-crewed. There's going to be missiles. There's going to be everything that we've done in previous scenarios has been stacking to this moment. So yeah, this is going to be a hard one, but it's 200,000 credits. We've got to go for it. The funny thing about this mission is it says you can't do everything yourself, and it's actually saying you need a crew to be able to complete this. So we have to know our limitations as a solo player. It's possible we can win this and we can do this, but maybe we can't do it yet. We might have to come back with a different ship. We'll try.
Now that you're in position, we can start the lesson. Stand by.
Now it's worth noting my ship is actually damaged. I should be repairing it before I go into this, but I'm pretty confident I'm not going to last more than about 10 seconds.
Hostiles spotted. Give them what you got.
Quite curious, however, to see what it is we're up against. Okay, first ship looks like an arrow. I can see 3 or 4 ships.
Missile locked. Missile locked.
Yep, that's a Hammerhead.
Shield system is hit.
Now, depending on how many crew, depends on how many of the turrets are armed. It's fully crewed, it's going to be an absolute beast. Yeah, there you go. You can see the spray coming off it already. I'm just going to get away from that. That will destroy me in seconds. In fact, look at my shields. The absolute only thing that's going to save us in this fight is our size. Well, that and our skill, of course. Or in this case, lack thereof.
Weapon system destroyed. Engines destroyed. Weapon system destroyed. Shield system offline. Engines destroyed.
Question is, can I get out before that thing blows up? Yes, I can, but I take a stray bullet from a ship. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found our limit. However, 6 completed scenarios in a flight school as a solo player. I think that's good. I'm happy with that. We've got a decent chunk of money now behind us. We've got the rental ship for the next 24 hours. I think this is a good place to call it. We'll come back again tomorrow and we'll see where this adventure takes us.